So, Cherlene,
Yes.
like you said, have you been in love you don't know?
I don't think so. I don't think I have been.
Why'd you say that?
I think because my concept of love was distorted. And what I feel love is now, it wasn't what it was back then. So for me, love looks like giving my body to a guy.
So you've been in relationships that you are supposed emotionally devoted to?
Somewhat.
Somewhat. Yet
I
never.
had a contract guy. I can't lie in it. So like I had a contract guy, as in today's language would be friend with benefits.
Okay.
So like I call him my contract guy.
Right.
When I
I'm
wanted my
learning.
situation then fixed, then he would come and fix, and then he would roll.
Mm.
But and I was Christian, by the way, just so you know.
Mm.
I know we do it. Sorry, we need to repent. But I did. I had one of those. So there was no like I told him from the beginning, there will never be any form of love here. Like just know that. Like
Yeah.
I'm just using you. Basically, it's kind of tricky. Sorry, it's actually not funny, but your facial expressions just cracked me up.
Because I know this is about singleness, but I'm also wondering how many people are in relationships who have never been in love, or have never shown it or received it, or don't have the ability to perceive it correctly. But I'm glad you brought that up because we had a conversation the other day.
Yes.
And I'm like, don't say anymore.
Okay.
We spoke for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, I don't know what
Yeah.
it was. And it was like, don't say anymore. Save it for the show. What is love? And if I was to, can I ask you that now?
Sure.
Yeah. What is love? Then, after all what you've said and all this baggage you're still going through.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's bits.
There's bits that
residue.
still start
Yeah.
there. Yeah. You got to get the bleach out.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, it's not, it may not be the great big things, but just the residue. You like, when a guy says, hey, I want to help you, or I'm going to do X, Y, and Z for you, like, why is my immediate reaction, well, you don't need to do that? Like, that's the secondary consequence of when this guy back here did all of these things for me, it was because he had an agenda to get this, which left me like that. So in as much as I understand that that is not the case now because this person's character is proper, it's still that kind of like, that needs to not be my immediate thought or feeling.
We want to carry as little of that
Yes,
into the future.
absolutely.
And I'm glad you said it. As you are pulling out all the stuff that doesn't need to be there, detangling knots, leaving what is good there, trying to sort between, is this good, is this not good?
Yeah.
Is this good? What is love to you?
I think what love is to me now is what is love to me now? I just think about unconditional acceptance, like accepting the person exactly as they are, not wanting to change them, allowing them to be their person, and abiding in that place of I can be completely me and you can be completely you in this relationship, and we complement each other. And I used to wonder, like, is love a feeling? Like, am I supposed to have like butterflies? Like, is that what it is? Because I don't know. Like, I don't know. So it's like, is it a feeling thing? Is it a choice? And people say, oh, love's a choice. I'm like, okay, I can understand that. And then people will warn me, like, just know that, like, you're not always going to have these lovely feelings, because one day you'll roll over in your bed and you'll be like, I hate you. And it's just like, I'm just like, whoa, really? Is this what really happens? So, I don't actually, and I feel like a kid, just not, I'm excited to learn about it in actually feeling it. Like, I'm excited for that. But the best answer that I can come up with that is unconditional love and acceptance. And a friend of mine asked me last week, he said, what is love to you now? Like similar question. And I said, love to me looks like commitment. Like being committed, no matter what the weather is in the relationship, the commitment's there. Like that's just how my parents were together for 34 years before my dad died. So for me, love looks like being committed Oh no, I don't know. I don't know if that answers the question, but
Well, yeah. I think people change over time,
yes.
and love will be. It's different things at different times, but it's all of those things. But they don't all arrive at the same time. But what we can do, I'm going to make a statement, and some of you might not agree with the statement, but I think that love, the feeling part, which is the part that we probably experience first. Some call it lust. It's another debate. But let's call it love. I think the feeling part should be the result of
Something.
Yeah.
Is it a result of a choice, or like what is it the result of?
Well, those feelings are generated by something that we experience. And it could be the hold of a hand, a look, or a compliment, or stuff like that. But I would prefer to say that is love. And in the early stages of a relationship, the fact that he's chosen me or she's chosen me can generate those feelings. So that's an experience. But if you get those feelings beforehand and you use them as a guide to say, I'm in love, I'd say be careful.
Okay, that's cool. That's good.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying be careful. And because, like someone will say, you could wake up tomorrow and hate that person. That could happen. Then the question is, do you love?
Are you going to make a choice to love them anyway? Yeah, that's quite serious, you know?
So there's two completely different. Now you're talking about choice now.
Yeah.
One is a feeling. You can't even control them feelings, yeah? But now you're saying choice.
See that thing there that you just said, like you can't control those feelings, yeah? That's the part that just wows me out, because I'm like, I'm not a control freak. You know, like I'm doing a lot better with allowing myself to go with the flow in things, right? But there's something which I feel like it feels like it's so unpredictable that, and I think that's the part that scares me. Like these emotions, like, because when was it? Maybe like a year or so ago. Like I was feeling these kind of emotions. I'm like, what is this? And I went to my pastor and I'm like, okay, you need to talk to me right now, because I'm feeling this and I don't know what it is, and it's freaking me out because I can't seem to control this thing. And he looked at me. It was so comical. He's just like, Cece, like, are you in love? And I'm like, I don't know. You're the one that's written the book, so you should be able to tell me, because I don't know what it is. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if it was infatuation. Like I don't know. I still don't know to this day. But like, it was just really interesting because I couldn't control it, and I'm like, this is a problem. Like, I still don't think I was in love though. I'm still single. I'm still single.
But there's your point, partly made in that the feeling comes and the feeling goes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what do you do with those feelings? Because people don't have those feelings. Yeah. I would say 99% of people do not have those feelings for the entire 34 years that they're together. Sure. So what is it after that? And I would say that it is a number of things. Like you said, it's the commitment. Sure. And sometimes, let's be fair to the situation. I didn't plan to counsel. Oh no,
I love this because I'm now going to go and write about this in my blog. Like
you have to quote me though.
Yeah, I will, absolutely. And I'll put the video in there as well.
No,
yeah, but this is good for me.
If you and I are together and I walk out on you, in fact, I'm going to my mum's because I'm a mummy's boy. Okay, I pack my bags. Yeah. Does that mean I don't love you?
No.
That's interesting because some people say yes, you do not love me.
No, I wouldn't think that. If he walked out...
We had a bad series of arguments and this was the worst argument. I've had enough. And I've packed a night bag and I've gone to my mum's.
No, I don't think that. I wouldn't think that means that.
And this is it.
I wouldn't... No.
This is a debate. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't, or I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying I do. What I'm saying is that people are going to mess up. And when they mess up, does it mean they don't love you? Not necessarily, like you're saying. And at the same time, if you've experienced someone walking out on you or doing something stupid or unforgivable in your eyes, does that mean they don't love you? What do you perceive their behavior as? Not, he doesn't love me, he's walked out.
No,
that's not necessarily true.
I don't believe that would be the case. Like, I think it's like the example I used when, you know, I believe that if a guy said that I love you 3 times, then that means he had an agenda. Just because I believe that doesn't mean that if that person's told me they love me 3 times, that it means that they've got an agenda. So I would be, if I perceive that this guy is telling me that he loves me, and my perception of that is based on my experience and not the current reality. Because in my world, in my personal reality, my internal world, that's what I believe to be true. But from his world, in the context of our relationship, he has no agenda but to love me. Does that make sense? So in that, you know, I could be seeing life through a lens that is tainted by my experience. So I would see that, oh no, well, he doesn't love me because, you know, my worldview has told me that anybody that does that is a liar. In the same way, if my husband walked out and said, I'm going to my mum's, of course I'm going to be vexed, because I want us to just deal with the thing, deal with the matter. No sun going down before the argument, you know, that whole concept, wanting to make sure that you go to sleep on, you know, nice, and let's talk about this thing. But if that's something that he needs in order to get his space, and again, for me, I'm a behavioral personality specialist, isn't it? So when it comes to that, understanding his personality, that may well be something that he needs in order to actually process, to be able to come back so that we can get back to, and this is all theory, by the way, because I've been single.
But it's good theory.
Yeah.
And we need theory to work on. A lot of what we think love is based on what we've been taught and what we experience, rather than what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is it? It's just like, I'm so excited about this, guys. Yeah. Like, I started a blog. Can I talk about it? Yeah. So I started a blog called Journeying to a Forever Love.wordpress.com. And I'm excited. Like, I turned 38 recently. The next morning I woke up and I heard God tell me, it's time to start writing about your love journey. So I'm like, whoa, this is really cool. Like, I haven't heard this before. But it really is just about me processing, like, what do I think love is? Is it, you know, the feelings and all of that kind of stuff? What are my thought processes? Honest, genuine, whether they're right, wrong, or indifferent. But let's process this, because my strength is in my writing, not my speaking, believe it or not. But I really want to kind of like explore this with God and see what my heart says about it, because the King's coming. That he's
ready or not.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to be, I want to be I want to be the queen.
Yeah.
That he's been looking for, in the same way that my hopes are that he's the king that I've been praying for, and whose life I've been praying into. Do you know what I mean? And just that kind of like concept. Like, I had this very, very cool vision once. Like, you know, some people, their concept of love, and, you know, they want the big wedding, but it's not about the wedding, it's about the marriage. You know, it's like, well, what is our marriage going to look like? How are we setting ourselves up for success with that? And one day I had this vision, and in this vision, it was this doorknob, and it had a wedding band around the doorknob. And myself and my husband, I didn't see him. I wish I did, because it would just make life a lot easier. Like, we were walking towards the door, and both of our hands turned the doorknob and opened this door. And I heard God say that it's our covenant that opens the door to the mansion of our destiny. And that for me was like, when in the covenant, in that agreement where we bind ourselves together as one, where we become that three-chord strand that cannot be broken, that we will be walking into what God has prepared for us, has aligned for us, from what I've been working on, you know, in terms of my ministry, in terms of my business, what he's working on with whatever it is that he's doing. When God joins that together, it's going to open the door to the mansion of this, you know, this destiny that we're going to be walking in together. And those types of things excite me. So as a part of my journey, it's like, okay, well, what things could potentially slow us down when we walk through that door? Are there things in my thought process that I haven't dealt with that I need to deal with? You know, I had mentioned that, you know, the whole thing with somebody wanting to do something to me, I had to repent to them and say, like, hey, I just want to apologize for the pushback when you said that you wanted to do X, Y, Z. I apologize for the pushback on that, because I'm not actually used to that. And so I'm now dealing with my heart, because I've been able to self-correct and be like, okay, this comment came from this place here because there was fear. How are you going to deal with that? and being very conscious and just straight on the head. I went straight back to them and said, boom, 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 boom. Do you know what I mean? And they're a friend of mine, but it's something that just came up in our communication. And I recognized it, dealt with it, because I don't want that to be something which is something that I don't deal with. And then whenever I get into a relationship with whoever my king is, it becomes a problem in there too.
I just wanted to say this. I just wanted to say that in the free world that we live in, we don't come together and fit perfectly. No matter, all that you're doing is what we all should be doing. But we have to leave some of it out.
What bits?
And that's between you, your man, and God.
Wait, when you say leave it out, like, what do you mean?
There are pieces to the puzzle that, you know, as much preparation as we can do, the parts that we don't know, we come together and sometimes we will knock heads. Most likely, because of the world we live in.
Sure.
We knock heads and we get frustrated. And all of that, actually, I've learned, is what makes love stronger. The conflict.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
The way that we manage it, you know. And I think bringing it back to singleness, away from marriage into singleness, is that I said this to someone, I've said it in another video as well, is that forgive. This is one of the most important things you should do. And some people find it easier than others, but it's this. Forgive them in advance of the worst thing that you could ever experience.
I need to train myself now. But the thing is, my baseline for forgiveness, I don't know that anybody, unless they try to kill a member of the family, I don't know that there's anything else that could happen in our relationship that would cause me to have such a problem with forgiveness if I've been able to forgive the guy that raped me, because that was the biggest thing in my life. Do you know what I mean?
But it's because you've been practicing beforehand.
Okay, yeah.
You'll find it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I think most people,
I
say men and women, haven't done that. We're just looking for someone to be with. And I think that this is the great thing about your story, is that you've done the prep. And I think for single folk, you don't have a date necessarily when God is going to say that you're going to get married in 2018.
I feel like I've told God that I want to be married on a particular date.
Yeah, you can tell him what you want. And the thing is, hopefully it comes through, you know.
Yeah, we've got a few months.
This is it. What month is it? We're looking at
August.
August. Okay. Come on, God.
Yeah. Come on, let's just everybody intercede for your sister. The line the stars.
6 billion people right now.
Just come on. Yeah.
So, the prep.
Yes, the preparation.
Without knowing the outcome.
Yeah.
Without knowing if there is ever going to be a day.
There will be a day.
But there will be a day.
There will be a day.
But when? We don't know.
Snap.
At the same time, you're still preparing. So
Absolutely.
you're walking by faith.
Absolutely. Like, look, I know I'm going to get married. Like, I know that. Hands down, absolutely, categorically. I know that's going to happen. My thing is, when that time comes and I know who he is, am I going to start my process then, or am I starting it now? And what I say to, friends and when I speak in conferences is, when it comes to preparation, my respect and my honor doesn't turn up when I know who my husband is. It starts now. Like, I respect and I honor him in the decisions that I make, the conversations that I have, now, not then.
Yeah.
When he comes, it starts. How do I carry myself? How do I love me? How do I love him in his absence? Like, all of these things are thought processes that I have. And I think partly this is maybe one of the reasons why I haven't chosen somebody who's just like, I think you're my wife, and been more considerate, like considering like, well, I've been stewarding this for so many years. I've been preparing this for so many years for my king. I can't just take this and just give it to you and just think, oh, because you're the first or second, third, fourth, fifth person that's come and said to me, you're my wife, that you are. Like, for me, it's going to be a lot more calculated, because I'm not desperate for a man. Like, that's not where I'm at. Like, I don't, and I'm going to say this, I don't need a man. I want one. Like, I'm not feeling that there's this
big difference
aspect of being needy. Like, because if I wanted to be, I could be married next week.
Yeah.
Just need to go Ghana, Jamaica, get to the airport. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it will happen. But I'm not in that place of, desperation where I feel like I need this man. Like, I want to invite a man into my life. I want him to invite me into his life as two whole people choosing to walk the road together of companionship and seeing what God does with that connection. Like, that is the foundation of my thinking when it comes to dating. So, you know, yes, I had Bumble, but I was just like, all right, maybe I just need to get out a bit and kind of meet people and all of that. But the truth of the matter is in my heart, do I believe that my husband's there? Probably not. I don't know.
Now, this is the beauty of being frank about the journey.
Yeah.
You're walking by faith, like, this is my hope.
Yes.
But the
But
reality is,
yes.
when God says in it.
That's the thing, boy.
Jeez.
After all of that. But the thing is, I could go out and meet a guy and then God says that that's the guy. But if I didn't go out, then I may not have met the guy.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
I'm just saying that it could be outside church.
Hey.
Not that he's not Christian.
Okay.
But it's just that he's not in the church.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? Like, so I'm using Bumble as an, you know, because the guy might be on Bumble for all I know.
I'm picking my battles. I'm not arguing with everything
I'm just saying.
I'm allowing you to say what you're saying.
I'm just saying, like, you know.
I haven't got a yes or no on that.
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm excited about it. Like, I feel like this is a new season for me, where, like, the fact that, you know, Holy Spirit said on the 24th of April, it's time to start writing about your journey to a forever love. Like, that gives me more excitement, not so much confidence, because I'm confident I'm going to get married, I'm going to meet someone, I'm confident about that. But I feel like now there's something that is brewing, and all of these prophetic words that I've had about my husband in the past, and, you know, and his character and all of these different things. Like, I'm excited to meet him, you know, like, I'm excited to meet the man that I've been praying for, that I've been covering, that I've, you know, thought about, that I've bought things for, and, do you know what I mean, written letters to, and all of that. Like, I'm excited to actually meet that person.
Prophetic actions.
Yeah, I mean, just because he's not here in flesh doesn't mean that he's not here. Does that make sense? Like, it's just because he's not physically here doesn't mean that he's not here. So for me, it's just like, okay. And I'm not talking about no spiritual husband, spooky business. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, spooky, you know, it's I'm not talking about that. I'm not on that. What I'm saying is, I'm not talking about spiritual husbands or nothing like that. But I just mean, you know, I'm very conscious about it, and I'm very mindful about that, and just understanding that my heart's precious, and I can't have my heart divided all over the place because, you know, Tom, Dick, Harry could be the one. Like, I want when he meets me that he comes and meets a whole heart.
Lovely.